Well, it feels like an absolute lifetime since we've come and given you a facts and figures episode, so we do apologise for that, but there's been a bit going on in the background.
It actually feels like a very long time since we've been on camera, and we've almost forgotten how to do it.
All you've got to do is be yourself, sweetheart. Your job's right. All right, our lap has just been turned right upside down. We couldn't believe it, but nevertheless, our spirits are very high, and we're still chipping away, and we're still going to keep bringing you unbelievable episodes. And you're probably wondering what the hell is going on. Why are you in a flannelette shirt? You're still tanned.
I'm in a t-shirt.
You've still got a good tan there.
I've got some braids, so that's to be explained later on.
Yeah,
too.
there's been a bit that's happened behind the scenes, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying the episodes, the comments, the questions, the queries, the digs, the likes, the shares, the love. Thank you.
The opinions.
We love it all. So
yeah.
Keep it coming, and keep supporting our channel, and we'll keep producing as much content as we can for you guys.
So the last episode you would have seen is the Marble Bar episode, and that's had quite the controversy around it in terms of the blown or shredded tyre, the flies, the heat. Why did we go there? Why did we go this time of year? Who would go to Marble Bar? So that was quite an interesting episode to put out and get the comments back on. The next episode that you're going to see is we actually go to Point Sampson. But you will see that episode before you see this, so everything will be explained.
You're actually probably wondering where we are.
That's a big question.
Massive question.
Where we are, why we're here, and what are we doing here?
Yeah, so first of all, we are at the RACV Club in Inverloch, Victoria. That's right, you heard it correctly, Inverloch, Victoria.
Yeah. Not
Not far from our farm, actually.
Yeah.
So
a month ago, we were up in northwestern WA, and now we're all the way down in southwestern Victoria.
Battling the cyclones and the rain and the floods and all that. But that's all to come on future episodes. We won't delve straight into why we're here right now, but towards the end of the episode we'll let you know exactly what's happened and the reasons why we're back in Victoria.
Yeah, let's start with the map.
Map the lap. Let's kick it, rip it.
Our last Map the Lap, we were in Exmouth, so that's where we finished off. Remember, we went down to South Lefroy to Ningaloo Reef, and then back to Exmouth, and then we left Exmouth because of the cyclone. So what we did is we actually, to get out of Exmouth, you got to come south down this highway, and then you've got two choices. You can go north towards Broome, or you can go south towards Perth. So we came across here through Burkett Road. This is actually where Bullara Station is. Bullara Station's very popular for caravan and campers, but Bullara Station was not open as such. So we continued on back up the coastal highway. What we didn't show you is we actually stopped in Karratha. So we were going to free camp one night, but we actually missed the turn off, and then it was too hard to turn around with all the road trains and the busy highway. So we kept going north towards Karratha, and we stayed at the Discovery Parks in Karratha. You know, it was only one night stay. We didn't essentially enjoy that so much, but we didn't film there as well for that reason. Now, we did want to actually go to the Dampier Peninsula and stay there for a couple of nights, but all the caravan parks were shut in the Dampier Peninsula for the off-season. So one of the downfalls of travelling at this time of year. So one night in Karratha, and then we kicked on back up on the coastal highway past Port Hedland, just stopped there and got some lunch, and then came up here, did a left down to Cape Koroydrin, and you would have seen that we stayed at Cape Koroydrin for 2 nights. Very, very windy, beautiful spot, and that's where Troy tried to catch some crabs with no success. Anyway, we continue on back up the highway and all the way to Broome. So it was a fair drive, but it was at least 6 hours from Cape Koroydrin. And then we headed up to Broome for 4 nights, I think we did there. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, we checked out the Friday. So that was to Broome. And then you would have seen that the guys flew home from there. So after 4 nights in Broome, we decided to turn around, come back down the highway, what we've already done, and then we took a left on this road here. So down here, which was a corrugated road, which joins up. So normally you come along the coastal highway here and you turn left onto this road, but we took the shortcut, what we thought was a shortcut, but it ends up being a long cut because of the speed that you got to do on corrugations. And we came to Marble Bar for one night. Then in Marble Bar we found out that there was a beautiful gorge called Carrawine Gorge, and that was on bitumen. So we went along the bitumen here and then did 14 k's down to Carrawine Gorge, where we also spent one night. After we shredded the tyre, and this is what you're about to see on YouTube, is that we decide to head back to the coast. So we come back into Marble Bar, we got some breakfast there, and then we headed up the right way back towards Port Hedland. So we went up the bitumen road instead of obviously the corrugated road, back on the highway, past Port Hedland, and then we turn off here to a place called Point Sampson, and that's where we leave you in this episode. Now, before we go on to the whys and hows and whats and wheres, we got a lot of brochures along the way. So one brochure that we picked up when we were up near Broome was this one called the Walu Way, and it has a very good map in here of the Pilbara. And so this is what we use to help us come down to Marble Bar, down to Carrawine Gorge, and then back over to Point Sampson, and then through the outback, which you'll see later on. But these sort of brochures are very handy as to where you want to go and what you want to see. And one of the reasons we went to Point Sampson is because of this picture. Let's see if I can find it. This one here. See this? Snorkeling in beautiful crystal clear water. Do you think that happens?
Well, as you see on that episode, it's all weather dependent. It doesn't matter where you are, but the brochures don't sometimes always do it justice or non-justice.
Yeah,
so to speak.
I mean, it really is all weather dependent. But the other good brochure to get your hands on is this one. I don't know if every state has one, but this is Driving in Western Australia, and it has all the road maps for certain areas. So this, for example, this one is Carnarvon to Port Hedland, and it has every single roadhouse, whether it has toilets, a dump point, whether you can get fuel, whether you can stay there for 24 hours. And it has the distances between each one. So if you think, if you're running out of fuel, you can at least see where the next one is, or whether you can bypass it and go to a more popular roadhouse.
There's always a lot of different apps that you can use, like Wikicamps and Camps Australia and all that sort of stuff. But if you've got a combination of these things, it's really helpful.
Yeah.
Especially in the car when you've got no internet.
That's right.
And you just sit, the passenger just sits there and says, oh yeah, we're in Carnarvon, we've got a 40-minute drive to XYZ.
Yeah.
So
it goes from, it has all the internal highways, so Perth to Esperance to Albany, Margaret River, and then it's got, Broome to Kununurra, through Tom Price, Kalgoorlie, all of those ones. So and we use that a lot. Yeah,
we do, and we speak to a lot of people. I think we've mentioned this before, but just always pull up to a roadhouse and say, listen, what's that road like? Especially when you're going a bit more inland of Western Australia, because it's rugged and there's not many people, or if not anyone out there. Which probably brings us on to the tyre situation and why we sort of made our way back to the coast. Once we'd shredded that tyre at Marble Bar, it was like, we can't afford to keep driving without another spare tyre. Now, in an ideal world, your caravan wheel setup will be the same as your car wheel setup and vice versa. That way you do have an extra spare, a caravan spare that you can use on your car or vice versa. But our car and caravan are not suitable, they're not interchangeable, so to speak. But when you're setting up your vehicle, you know, try to get them the same if you can, because that's when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you've shredded a tyre, it does get a bit panicky, especially when you've got to do a lot more corrugations. So we decided to head back over to the coast to then get into Karratha to see if we can get a spare wheel.
Yeah.
Do not make the same rookie mistake that we did.
It's just laziness.
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of things. It's heat, it's being a bit lazy, a bit trying to get out quickly. Sometimes you just need to take stock, just double check things. Easier said than done when you're in the middle of it. We get that many comments of people that are going, you should have done this, should have done that. I know, we should have done a lot of things.
Yeah. The other part of that trip was when you would have seen that when we turned up, our inverter was beeping. So we had blown a fuse. We were trying to fix that, and then by the time we did actually get our inverter working. Yeah. We didn't show that, but we turned on the aircon and it was too late. It was too hot. Yeah. We weren't able to get the caravan down to a decent temperature, and there was just no point running the aircon. We were just going to waste the battery for no reason. Yeah. So that's why we were hot and bothered and wanted to get out of there. Yeah. Anyway, so...
But highly recommend that place. I'd go back there tomorrow in a heartbeat, even if the flies were there. We'd still go back. We'd just have... probably a combination of better fly repellent. Yeah. And so we have had some great suggestions on our channel to, you know, there's good horse fly repellent that you can get from stock agents and stuff. Yeah. And you can try some of that. There's a lot of different things that we'd love to try. And that would have made our time there tenfold, but it was still good. We still loved it, and we'd do it again. Same weather, same everything. Not a problem.
Okay, so so Troy changed the tyre, and we decided that I think it was best to go back to the coast and sort out our spare tyre rather than heading any further inland. So that's what we did, and that's what you hopefully would have seen by now, that we actually make our way to Point Samson. And that was also to give us a break and have some time to just unwind from the stressful situation of going to Marble Bar. Yeah. But it was really beautiful. Like, it was really awesome. We swam in the pool and walked around. We had a nice dinner out and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of other good gorges around Marble Bar as well, so it's underrated, that place. It really is. I don't see a lot of people go out there. We would love to explore around there a little bit further, but we couldn't for different reasons. Anyway.
So back to the tyre, we got back to Point Samson, and you made quite a few phone calls to places in Karratha.
Absolutely no one had that tyre size. BF Goodrich 265/65 R18s. Not a common size. No one had it. I was like, surely that's the reason why I got BF Goodrich. But unbeknownst to me, over time, brands change and companies only stock particular brands for different reasons, whether it's cost effective for them or whether the brand's good or whatever. But I would have thought I'd be able to get a spare wheel anywhere in Australia with a BF Goodrich. I just couldn't get that size. In
the end, we ended up getting a totally different brand.
Yeah, we had to go... most places now stock Maxxis, and they're a great brand tyre. I just wanted the same brand. Obviously, our tyres are brand new. Yeah. You know, so what I've decided, I could still use that spare if I really needed to, but... what I've decided is I'll wear out this BF Goodrich, so I'll probably give us 100,000 kilometres. I'll wear those out, and then I'll change the whole lot to Maxxis. Yeah. And they were really affordable as well.
So the Maxxis is our spare at the moment.
That's right.
Under the car.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got good. It looks good.
So why are we in Victoria, babe?
Well, there was like anything. There's a combination of things that have actually happened along our trip that's brought us back to Victoria. So
can you just get in my jumper, please?
You get a bit cold.
Yeah.
So we had obviously it pretty much started at Exmouth, where we had to leave Exmouth because of the cyclone that was coming through. we made our way up to Broome, and fortunately enough, we missed all of that cyclone. It kept heading south. We get up to Broome. We planned to stay there for 4 days or 3 days. Dad and Harrison were flying out. Laura and I then had planned to go across the top, through the Fitzroy crossing, over into Darwin, and visit where we're getting married to try to sort out finalise some things for our wedding.
Yep.
Now, just as we were making that decision to do that, the weather just turned, and roads were starting to get closed at that time. There was rain coming in from everywhere.
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, well, let's go south a little bit. And then we get to Marble Bar, then we shred a tyre, then we're like, okay, we're going to have to go and get a tyre at Karratha. Can't get a tyre at Karratha. Go to Kalgoorlie, which you'll see in upcoming episodes. And we finally get our spare wheel at Kalgoorlie.
In between all that, we're going through floods to get to Kalgoorlie. So even if we went north, we would have gone through floods, but we're going south and we're going through floods.
We would have been stuck going north, 100%. We would have got stuck somewhere. Yeah. Even coming south, it was by the skin of our teeth that we actually got out.
Yeah. Because
of the rain, and it's some really entertaining episodes coming up, so stay tuned for those. I won't give away too much, but there's a lot happens in the middle of absolutely nowhere. Probably could have got a mining contract whilst I was there. I probably should have, to pay for all these broken down cars and tyres and stuff.
Well, speaking of work, that was another issue. I got a call from my work about a project that they wanted me to work on, essentially. So I am now back at work. Yes. I'm 4 days in, and it's been a challenge, but it's good to have some stability. So that was one of the challenges. And then one of the main reasons also to turn around was we actually want to put this caravan up for sale. Now, we've mentioned before that we are going to sell this after our trip, and now that we're back in Victoria, we've got the opportunity to give it a really good clean and put it on the market. Yep. Because we are so keen to start the build of our new caravan.
Yeah, so we've done, in the time that we've sort of been back, we've had all the warranties things done on the caravan, which is great. They sorted everything out. We haven't got a brand new front door.
New table.
Like safe, new table. Remember the other table come off. So I think when you get a caravan, the most important thing is the warranty, because there are always going to be things that happen. It's whether or not you can get them fixed or not. Yeah. And they have been next level, not only just for us. People might say, oh, just on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. We've seen the other current warranty, the team in there, and it's bloody Mickey Mouse. So,
and we've seen all the vans in there getting some things done, and they're all different reasons. So
anyway, we won't go right into that. So the caravan is like looking Mickey Mouse now. Everything's fixed on it, and it's just about ready to be put on the market. So if anyone is interested, just give us a direct message, and we'll give you the information. But the exciting thing is that we also wanted to go and visit some other companies and check out some layouts and try to find what the best layout for us is going to be, because we've always said Harrison's nearly 6 foot now, so he's growing out of that bunk bed way too fast.
But we also found from our travels, like especially because we went at the hottest time of the year, is that the heat takes a toll on us, and you all need your own space, and you need time to have your naps or your sleep-ins, or you might not be feeling well. So one thing that we are looking at is having our own separate bedroom. So bit of an update for you guys is we looked at 3 different manufacturers, and I did a lot of research on those 3 different manufacturers. And we've chosen one, and we're in the process of designing our new caravan and getting the layout and specs schmicko. And once we do that, we'll let you know who it is.
So that was the other great reason to come back to Victoria. As everyone knows, most companies are based in Victoria. So if you know, don't buy a caravan if you can't go and look at it and look at the finer details.
I guess that kind of gives them the heads up that it's not a zone, because zone aren't in Victoria.
All true. It's not a zone. Anyway, we haven't finalised any deal or anything yet, but as soon as we do, we'll let you know, because we're not ones to hold secrets and go, oh, wow, look at our new van, blah, blah, blah.
We want you to come on the journey, not
exactly. But
see the end product.
We're not going to do anything until we've actually signed the documents and paid for it, basically.
All right, before we go on to the farm, something else that we have to tell the viewers is on our way back towards the south, we actually had Tassie booked.
Oh, we did too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tasmania. We were that close to getting there, so close. We
were booked on the Spirit of Tassie. We had the dates. We had 10 days in Tassie, which I know is not enough, but that's all we could fit in. And last minute, we canned it.
We had to can it. We could get the caravan over there, but we couldn't get it back home. That was just fully booked out until July.
I thought there was something wrong with their booking system, so I actually called the Spirit of Tassie, and they said, no, it's all the Tasmanians going to the mainland to head north for winter.
And Laura said, but do you know who I am?
No. So the only time...
I don't care who you are.
The only time we could get the van there and back was in June, July, our winter. So that wasn't going to happen.
It just wasn't going to work. So we then just contemplated taking Dad's camper trailer that I built for him and just roughing it a bit.
And without Coco.
Yeah, without Coco as well. So, look, we actually did book the camper trailer. It didn't work. Didn't seem logical for us on our way back.
It wasn't going to be comfortable.
We were actually exhausted on our way back. We were, you know, we were going through a lot of different things, situations, and then Dad come back as well, and you know, he's given me an insight into what's going on with the farm. So there's a lot of things to sort of rectify down there. So Laura's back at work at the moment, and I'm back down at the farm sorting all that stuff out, getting her head above water again, selling the van, getting our new van built. Bang! We're off. That's the key. Getting married as well. That's sorry, that should have been first. It's very important if you're doing your lap or you're thinking of planning it, just be aware to be flexible.
Yeah.
Because we had all these great intentions and we're going to see this, going to do this, going to do that, and a lot of it didn't happen. But we saw places that we would never have thought of going to because of what's happened.
Exactly.
So we're grateful that we've done it.
Yeah. But anyway, you missed one very important thing that we did because we didn't go to Tassie.
Oh. Time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. We decided to, because we were so buggered and exhausted, we decided to book a holiday to Bali. So we went to Bali for 7 days. The best decision ever.
We needed a holiday from the road trip. So you would have seen we moved very fast on our road trip, on our tour. That was our choice. We had reasons for that. We've explained all that. But when you have the combinations of heat, flies, tyres, bogging, constant bogging, everything is covered in sand, everything's covered in the Pilbara, you know, it is tiring. You're always cleaning, you're always working out where's our next movement, where's the next roadhouse.
Let's be fair here. It's not a whinge. This is just reality of travelling at that time. People might go, well, why did you travel at that time? Why not? Why do you have to do what everyone else does?
Exactly.
Do what you think's right for you, and
do what is right for you. That's worked with us for work.
Yeah, for everything we do in life.
Holidays.
We don't necessarily do exactly what everyone else does, but that's okay. You know, we're comfortable in that. We might talk about it like it was hard and this and that, and the reasons why we went to Bali, but
it was hard.
We wouldn't change it.
It was tiring, and we're just letting you know how we felt. We had the best time. We've got some amazing photos, and footage, but it was hard.
It's resilience. So it makes you more resilient, for sure.
Came back to Melbourne for 3 days. We literally came back for 3 days. We got back on Melbourne time, which was hard enough. Then we flew to Bali and we were back on WA time.
Anyway, we filmed some Bali stuff for you guys if you've never been before. That's coming up in future episodes. Such a good trip. Welcome to Bali.
Nearly got knocked out by the planes.
How heavy are those things? They're like bloody nunchucks. Ooh, the heat.
So we're in Bali. How the hell did we get here? Apart from a plane.
Yeah, we got here last night.
Alright, figures. So month two started in Busselton, pretty much the day that Harrison and Bill flew into Busselton, and it took us actually all the way to the WA and SA border, which you'll see in a couple of weeks. We ended up spending $8,218.94 for 1 month. That was the second month. In month one, we spent $6,185. So to put that in comparison, we spent an extra $2,000 on fuel in month two. We spent way more on groceries. Eating out, cash out was pretty much the same. In fact, we actually stopped taking cash out for ourselves because we just couldn't afford it. Everything had to go to fuel. We also spent a bit on accommodation, and the factors of that was we wanted to run the aircon 24/7. You can have the best battery system and inverter in the world, but that aircon in a powered site works so much better. And you don't have to worry about using the microwave or your induction or whatever else. You just run that thing. So we wanted comfort. We wanted to use the aircon. We wanted a swimming pool, because as you go further north, you can't swim in the beach, as you would have seen in Broome, Cape Coroidran. And then obviously fuel is more expensive as we go through the Pilbara, and groceries were way more expensive that we saw in Exmouth as well. So alright, let's wrap this up. So basically, what are you guys going to expect to see from us, Journey Unknown, now that we're back in Victoria?
That's a good reason why we named it Journey Unknown, because half the time we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. So we have a few episodes already in the pipeline. You'll see the Point Samson one. Hopefully it's already out by now. You'll see that we turn around, we go through the outback. So we go through all the mining towns that you probably would never travel before, or have travelled previously, or in your future trips. We go through South Australia again, we cross the Nullarbor again, but we go and stay somewhere completely different on the fringe of the Flinders Ranges.
Oh, it's so nice to be able to have a beer around the fire. I mean, it's been so long since we've been able to do that, and we're super excited. Last night we were going to have a fire, but the wind was just out of control, and it would have been irresponsible to light one. We had a little pit stop. We had the actual battery went flat, and then 5 hours later we decided we need to finish this episode. So we've been for a swim here at the RACV resort. Beautiful, magnificent, had a spa. Now I'm ready to go. The cats are on tonight, so it's a big night.
Oh, we'll watch his flat.
Yeah, so we thought we'd get back on here and just explain a couple of other things, and also finish this episode off. We wanted to thank everyone that has continued to watch the adverts. We understand they're a bit of a pain, but we do have people that reach out to us and say, listen, how can we support your channel? Can we buy you a coffee or whatever? And as great as, you know, thoughtful of them of that is, we don't ask anything from our viewers apart from if you can watch the adverts. That really helps us out, and we've really noticed that people are doing it because our income is increasing each month, which helps us produce more videos. Which brings us back to the point of having a base to come home to. We understand a lot of people sell their properties and they take off, and once again, totally fine. It's a good way to do it, but we'd probably strongly suggest, if you can afford not to do it, just keep your base, because when you're away you do miss having that little spot that you can come back to for a little bit, recoup. You know, do things like wash your van, service your car, get some things fixed. rather than having to borrow someone's garage or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, fixing things on the road is hard yakka.
It is. And when we got back to the factory in particular, we unloaded everything from the van, and we
Yeah.
couldn't believe how much stuff we took on this trip,
Yeah.
how much stuff we used and how much we didn't use,
Mm.
or how often we used it. So we might have only used an item once or twice, but was it worth taking around Australia?
Well, put it this way: we've got a battery operated steel chainsaw. We did not use that once, and that's only because of the time of the year that we went. Would you take it on another trip? Absolutely, because if you've got a tree that's fallen across a track and you can't get through, you need to cut that
yeah,
and
if
move
you
it out
need
of the way. So
firewood.
some things you have to take and you haven't used, but that's okay. But that brings us to the end of this episode. There's not much more that we can add without yambling on too much.
Yeah, we hope we haven't bored you guys, but we wanted to give you an update of where we are.
Yeah.
Because the next episode you're going to see is we're going to turn around and start heading south. So you're going to be wondering, why didn't we go to the Northern Territory or Queensland? And so we want to give you an update as to what we're doing and why we're doing it. We haven't stopped. We've got 5 months until we get married, so we have a lot to do in that time. We also have hopefully 5 months to build our caravan and get that sorted before we can take off again. So stick with us, please, as much as you can.
Yeah, we're trying to be as transparent as possible. We wanted to actually let you guys know as soon as we knew that we were heading south, but it just wasn't possible with things that were happening in the background. Anyway, thanks again. We'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned. Got a good episode coming up and a few more good episodes with a couple of things that happen. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It helps with the algorithm, helps us grow our channel and be able to give you more content.
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of people have said that they've just stumbled across our channel. So things are obviously moving well in the YouTube space and the recommendation space. And then once they stumble across our channel, they go back to the start. And that's good for us too.
Yeah, that's really good. So thank you again. We'll see you on the next one, guys.
Enjoy.
Take care.
See ya.